Hi guys, so these are pin CPUs which I'm currently processing. You would find these in a computer in the CPU slots, and I'm going to process them. So if you want to see how to get gold out of them, keep tuned.
So I just wanted to say, guys, I could really do with your hand subscribing to my channel. 75% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. I need the help to build my channel. Most of my competitors, opposition, however you want to call it, the other channels that do what I do, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and I've only just passed 3. So I'm busting my gut trying to help you guys. If you could do that little thing for me in return and subscribe, would be really appreciated. If you believe that I'm putting in enough effort that I deserve a coffee, for about the price of a cup of coffee, you can become a member. Members get all sorts of rewards. They get extra draws when I give giveaways. So there's a standard giveaway, then there's another one for members. All my videos are released to my members first for about 3 days or so, and then after that I make it public. So I'm always trying to think about things that I can do for my members to show them how much I appreciate their support. But even if you just want to be a subscriber, that would help me huge. Thank you.
While I'm heat gunning these off, I'm going to get Peter to use HCl in there so I can start processing, and it won't take as long. So I'll keep putting the pins in the used HCl.
Because of all the solder that was on there.
And that would get rid of all the solder that's attached to that. Alright. And I'll put that aside.
So if you look at these, look how much solder was on there. And the pins were stuck to it. So there's solder all over the pins.
Alright. Alright, these are the pins from the CPUs. That's had no reaction, so what we're going to do is we're going to filter those gold pins. Catch it all in the filter paper, and then process it. But you can see how nice it looks. I'll zoom in a bit. All those nice pins. Alright, and I'll come back to you with the next step. Well, I hope you can hear me and that you can see okay. Just the rain's decided to come down now. So these are gold pin CPUs that I was using the heat gun to remove. So I've placed it in here. Okay, so that's just the rinse water I use to rinse the funnels out. Now I'm going to put HCl like so, and a touch of nitric. So I'm not going to use a lot of nitric, because you'd rather put in a little bit at a time than not put, like, you know, have excess at the end. So rather just use as you need. So I'm going to put a little squirt of pipette in, a pipette of nitric. Alright, so I have one pipette, dish it, and then I'll turn this on heat. Now it is night time, so while this is on heat, I am then going to keep topping up the nitric until there's no reaction, because it's getting dark now. But I'll have that going and then go from there. I hope you all have a good night. Alright, so these are the pins that I've taken off the CPUs, and Peter's been carrying it out because I'm being busy at the moment, so he's been kind enough to process it for me. He's placed this in nitric just to consume all the solder and the base metals. And you can see it's reacting quite a bit. And we're going to keep putting nitric in until there's no reaction. And this is just going to get rid of all the rust. And you can see how nice the pin's looking. Alright, So we'll come back to you once we go to the next step. Morning everybody, so this is the next day. I've left it standing overnight just to cool down. There was no more reaction, and these are the pins that I was doing. The ones that I actually use the heat gun to get off the CPUs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter it out. I've got my filter paper there, and I'll use some sulfuric acid to see if there's any excess nitric. From there I'll drop the gold. Now I'll come back to you when I'm doing that, but for now what I'll do is, it's really hard trying to do things one-handed. So I'm going to pour that in there. Sorry about the camera. Alright. And I'm going to have that run through the filter a few times. Alright, so these are the pins that I had on the hot plate filtering. I've done a sulfamic in there. You can see it's sitting at the bottom. There was no reaction, so there's no excess nitric. So what I'm going to do is use S&B to drop the gold. Now Peter has used this already, so it was still good and it still dropped the gold, but just in case I'm going to do a status test afterwards to make sure all of it is dropped. So I'm going to place that in there. So I've just doubled the quantity of what was in the beaker. And I'll just
take a while to change.
Yeah, it might take a while to change, but we'll give it a minute or two, or maybe let it sit overnight. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so this is from the gold pins. Now I do night shift, so Peter has kindly done some stuff for me. So this is the gold powder that's dropped. He's put it in a smaller beaker for me, very tiny, so that's easier to wash. So you can still see there's a little bit of colloidal gold. But this is the first rinse, and we're gonna do about 2-3 more.
Hot water.
With hot water, and go from there. Alright, so I've done the hydrochloric acid boil. Peter's going to say that I said that wrong, but it is what it is. So what I'm going to do is pour this out, give it good rinses. Still not where we want it to be, but we're going to do a nitric boil. So hard to see. There we go. Still clumping really nicely. Alright. So I'll give that a couple of rinses. Swishy. Drop it. Do about 3 or 4 rinses. Wait till that settles. You can see it's settling really nicely. And then do a nitric boil. Yeah. Alright. So I'll do that off camera. I'm going to use that as my gold waste if anything goes over, and go from there. Alright, I've had a nitric boil. Look how it's clumping up. I think this is the first time that I've had it clump so much. You can see there it's just falling. So what I'm going to do is give this a rinse, make sure all the nitric's gone, and that should leave me with my powder and just dry it up. Wonder how much we're going to have. Alright, I'll do that. So it's all dry, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh it. So I've got the scales here. Pete, can you scratch that little bit off? Not that it's going to make much difference.
I'll get the paper. Is that it? Or can I see them with my glasses on?
Yep, that's all it. So that is 0.5. 0.5. Why is it not? There we go. 0.5 grams.
That's not bad.
All right. And thank you for watching. Sorry about my mispronounced words. I am trying.